We're now joined by Dr. Clarita Carlos, a former National Security Advisor and a political analyst. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Doc.
Hi, Prof.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, Doc, thank you for joining us. And of course, I would like to start off by asking you about this recent pause by President Trump, in 2-week pause. Do you think this is the start of the escalation or just a temporary thing?
Well, Trump has been lying all along, so I don't see any reason why we should believe him now.
That's true.
So, Prof, given all of this and how Trump has been behaving, do you see this going into a wider regional conflict?
It has widened already. It has spilled over beyond the original actors. So what we need to do really is to get Trump and Netanyahu, two evil men, two deranged men, to be stopped, but the U.S. Congress seems to be in a catatonic state and is unable to move at all.
But as you said kanina, he's always lying. What do you think is his game plan here? Why would he supposedly agreed to a 2-month or ceasefire, 2-week ceasefire?
If you're losing, you're going to look for all options. But, you don't need to be a psychologist to know that when you lose face, napahiya in our language, you're more likely to undertake the most heinous acts. Remember, they were negotiating in Geneva. The next day, they bombed Iran. Okay, we're looking at patterns of behavior here. We don't need an IQ of 140 to discern that pattern. So whatever he announces, or whatever his cabinet members who are all morons announce, also, then you take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
And Prof, they've been talking about in the U.S. recently about maybe the cabinet denouncing President Trump as unfit. Do you think this is possible?
It's not likely. I mean, all of them are rowing in the same direction. They're all deranged. For God's sake, are you not content analyzing what they're saying? Hegseth, Rubio, etc.
Yes.
These people don't know how to read. They don't even know how to locate Iran in the map, believe me.
But I was wondering, Professor, that how significant is Pakistan's mediation here? Does this signal a shifting diplomatic center away from traditional Western brokers?
Well, we know that Pakistan is not anything to pay attention to. Behind Pakistan is, of course, China, for God's sake.
Right.
China yung nasa likod niya, no? Because if you look at all the countries who owe China the most billions, it is Pakistan. And you look at your geography and you know why. So this is ignored by Iran. And Trump, I'm sure they didn't pay attention to this. If you will notice, this has now become a U.S.-Iran war. Nasaan si Netanyahu, no? Nagkatras na yung ano niya. Umatras na yung yuno.
Well, given, Prof, na yung eroding support ng ni President Trump mismo, not US per se, sa international community, should the Philippines then rethink its alliances with the US?
Oh my, unfortunately, I cannot share with you guys my secret memos to Bongbong when I was NSA. So, but after I'm gone, pagkatapos ko mamatay at they will be in my archives, makikita nyo na lahat yan ay noon ko pa sinasabi yan, wala pang Iran war, na huwag tayong pahawak sa leeg sa Amerika. Diba?
Pero kunyari, ito pong ginawa nila recently, no, bago itong 2-week pause na ito ng ceasefire na ito between Iran and the US and Israel as well, ay kinausap po ng DFA ang Iran ambassador at yun nga po, dumiretsa po sila doon para nga daw magkaroon tayo ng safe passage doon sa Strait of Hormuz. Is that a wise move?
Unang-una, wala naman tayong barko. Ang ating stake dyan, yung mga Pilipino na mga seamen na nandiyan sa mga barko na yan. Wala naman tayong ba't tayo naglulukuhan dyan? At saka tayo, binibili natin ang ating mga fuel needs dito sa mga bansa sa paligid natin, sa Thailand, Singapore, etc. Kaya isa lang naman refinery natin. Kaya yung mga nagbibili doon. Kaya yung naka-headline pa na na Iran allows us to pass to the Strait of Hormuz. Oh my God. I'm going to cry from ewan. Parang
Since day one.
tragicomedy.
Oo.
Yeah.
Alright. Pero po from a national security lens, sa tingin niyo po ba ito pong crisis na ito would reinforce talaga most especially yung importance po ng sea lane security, especially po yung sa atin sa Pilipinas?
Well, ang dapat natin leksyon dito, kung hindi tayo tanga at bobo, ay yung military alliances, pasay na yan.
Right.
Kanya nga, isa sa mga memos ko, siguro pwede kong i-reveal yan kasi hindi naman siya mataas ang security concern natin, ay mag-join ng BRICS, mag-join ng SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, kasi yun ang magpapalawak ng produkto natin sa mangga, pineapple, etc.
Yes.
Yun naman kailangan natin. We need to increase our exports, we need to increase our foreign reserves. Tapos tignan mo, nakadugtong yung ating buhay dyan sa US dollar. Ilan na ngayon? Kanina umaga parang 61 pesos
That's
to
true.
$1 for Diyos por santo.
Na-expose talaga yung vulnerability natin because talagang we are tied up with importation eh.
Tell me about it. Tapos we are headed by so-called economists na, ay ewan, mahirap magsalita. Baka maban pa tayo dito sa sa airwaves. No? But seriously, sino nga ba yung congressman nagsabi siya? Nagawa siya ng arithmetic niya eh. Kasi yung mga bansa sa paligid natin, hindi naman ganun kataas yung yung increase ng kanilang diesel at ang mga ibang gasolina, no? Sabi niya sa kanyang simple arithmetic, actually 300 billion lang, pwedeng ibaba ng dun sa dating level natin before the war eh. Kasi kahapon parang nasa Tagaytay kami, 156 per liter yung diesel.
Right, oo. Oo, totoo.
Pero Doc, consistently there's been a downplaying, from of course yung mga from Malacanang about the word crisis. But at what point does this become really a national security issue? And should we take this to the next level?
Tama na yung mga rightist, leftist, centrist. Kaka-lecture ko lang nung Monday sa klase ko na these labels do not mean anything, Yung mga gumagamit nun, bobo. No? This is now a national security issue. Dapat collective ang action natin. Makinig tayo dun sa congressman na yun whose name escapes me. Kaninang umaga naglakad siya. Sabi niya, ito naggawa akong kalkulasyon. Na hindi mahahanap natin yung 300 billion na yan. Alam mo, lakapin mo lahat ng mga confidential and intelligence funds. Yan Nika dyan, magkano intelligence funds niya? 1 billion as in boy, no? So, I mean, medyo gamitin lang natin yung nasa gitna ng tenga natin, yung utak natin. I know you can sense my outrage, di ba?
Yes, definitely.
I'm not just a political scientist. I'm also a citizen like you.
Yeah.
No?
And we are all
Parang
affected by
tumubo yung
this.
tenga. Yes, tumubo ang tenga ko. Nag-full tank lang kami ng pick-up ko. Ay parang 11,000. Tapos Mariosep.
Right.
Minimum wage na yun. Di ba?
Yes,
Wow,
that's right.
11,000.
Kaya
Tell me
That's
about it.
Kaya nga, Doc, speaking to several people sa transport sector, ang dating, similar to your issue, ang dating 2,700 na full tank, nagiging 5,400, negative na po ang take-home pay. And yet, we still don't see a resolution in sight. How much longer do you think the average Filipino can hold on bago nagkaroon ng, bago mag-meet siya into something bigger?
Tell me about it. Alam mo, pag nag-spill over yan sa food, kahapon nabasa ko din na yung, alam niyo yung trading post sa Baguio, yung ang mura-mura ng mga gulay.
Right,
Yes, yes.
right,
Kami,
right.
yung ganyan, minsan yung isang bundle na 10 kilos ng ano ba yan, ang sayote, 50 pesos lang. Alam mo, ang kanilang reklamo, kahapon na interview sila, yung papunta sa Manila, usually they'll spend parang 10,000 ata. Naging 20,000.
Right.
I mean, mahirap pang intindihin yan. I-subsidize niya yung transport, di ba? Parang hindi pagdating dito, siyempre ipapatong sa atin yung 10,000. Yung luya nga, isang araw lang 70. Kahapon 300 pesos, no?
That's right.
Oh my God. So, bakit ang hirap pang memorizing niya? Hindi nga ako economist, I'm a political scientist.
Right.
But I'm also a mother, a grandmother, and And anong pangalan nito? Namamalengke ako. Kitang-kita ko talaga yan eh. Diba? So, alam mong ginagawa nila, pinapabulok na lang nila, no?
Right.
Pinapabulok na lang nila yung mga produkto nila, for God's sake. Buti nga lang, di tulad sa India, hindi sila suicide eh. Marimot, sir.
Alam mo, Doc, tama ka doon. Medyo ang dami na rin nadidismaya. But, and to think na hindi pa po factored in dito yung magiging crisis po sa mga OFWs. Kasi if ever this continues, magkakaroon ng large-scale repatriation and at the same time, remittances
Will go
can
down.
zero out or go down and we will start to really suffer. Do you think a collapse or a recession is in the horizon?
Excellent observation. Actually, noon pa, bago pa pumutok itong war na to, sinasabi ko na sa relevant agencies, i-upskill nyo, no? I-re-skill niyo ang ating mga laborers, ang ating mga workers, hindi lang dito, kundi nasa ibang bansa, parang 10 million sila. Dahil talaga, ang AI will really replace most of them. No? Ayan na yung reality.
That's the reality.
Let's set aside war. Ngayon, tama ka, no? Pagka na-display sila, I'm sure pagka naging economically underdeveloped yung mga tinamaan ng war yan sa the whole region, then what will happen is that, of course, they are going to ask the domestic workers, particularly, na umuwi na kayo, wala naman kaming pambayad ng inyong mga sweldo. O ilan yan? Hindi yan thousands, millions yan. No?
Yeah.
Paghandaan natin yon, no? Bakit hindi tayo nakakadinig sa migrant workers, BMW? Bakit wala? I mean, ano ibig sabihin ng silence ninyo? Nagbabalangkas ba kayo ng plano? Ang tagal na niyan eh. Ano na lang yung bigla na lang magbalikan yung mga ayan. You can imagine the social dislocation that will cause. Diba? High crimes, social anomie. I don't need to be a political scientist to detail to you what the implications are.
Finally,
So dire.
Finally, Prof, baka nanonood o nakikinig ang ilan sa mga tao sa gobyerno. Baka may suggestion kayo or mensahe sa kanila.
Uplift Committee.
Uplift Committee.
Oh my Lord, wag na lang. Alam kong nandun sa bad books ako ng mga iyan eh. So hindi niya makikinig sa akin. Bahala na lang sila sa sa pagbabalangkos nila. Saka pa.
On that note, maraming salamat po as always sa inyong oras, Dr. Clarita Carlos, former National Security Advisor and Political Analyst.